I think that's a good point that she's making on the love bombing. But what I've noticed is that there's a difference in age, a distinction in age. So I think when women are in their 20s and late teens, definitely men seem to be love bombing the shit out of them. But then in the 30s, 40s, that role seems to reverse quite a bit as the physical characteristics of the woman deteriorate.
Okay. Interesting. I think that it's really also, I think that human in general is something that should be really much brought up right now, because there's a lot of evil women that I know who I think are fucking horrible and toxic and have all these things wrong with them. But it doesn't mean that I hate all women. Same thing, the reason that I think there's a lot of evil, horrible, and toxic men that I know, but I don't hate all men. I think it's like kind of, it's a little bit cheap to limit a generalization about an entire race of people just because 1 or 2 or 100 of them are a certain way. Well, you know what? Okay, maybe not race. Sorry if I use the wrong terminology, but you understand what I mean. Yeah. One gender, and that's why I don't like to generalize. I think it's not good.
I think you're correct, and then in another sense, not correct. So where I think you're correct is, I think it's probably unfair to say something like if a guy says all women are insufferable bitches. It seems totally unfair to me, right? But if you break it down in demographics, right, and you're like, most Western women are entitled. That seems like it's a fair statement. Now you're not disparaging all women. What you're doing is you're giving a category, you're showing the category, you're showing how most women who fit in this category meet this criteria. And so it's like, I think that those are fair statements.
I just want to know who put that category there. It's almost like, listen, like really quick, I think that women are put into a box. It is, you are like the way the questions you're asking me, do you think you're going to be more beautiful in 10 years, etc. Women are put into a box of beauty. So they don't prioritize other things about themselves. So the only thing that is important to themselves is how they look. And I think that is extremely damaging. I really do. I think that it is something that needs to change, but I think it's also so unfortunate that we are put into this box of, if you're beautiful, you are important, and if you're not, then you're not important. And then when women are obsessed with their beauty, we're called shallow, we're called all these words, we're called and it's like, well, who put us there? We didn't ask for this, we didn't sign up for this last time I checked. I personally want to be a professional. Do I like to look beautiful as well? Sure, but that's not my only thing that I care about myself. I have so many things that I value more than just that. So that's why when we go back to that topic about what men think of me, I don't care. Men can think that about any other woman. I don't care. If a man thinks I'm smart, sure. Do I think that I'm smart? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, I ended that kind of weird, but I started on the right note, if that makes sense. Thank you.
You're fine.
Yeah, just wanted to put that out there, because I agree with what you're saying, that these are patterns that we do recognize, especially in this 21st century where the internet is so incredibly important into our daily lives, and it is incredibly impactful. Girls growing up right now, they're seeing all these really, really beautiful women on their For You pages, on their Instagrams, and they're thinking, well, I have to be like that. But they're not seeing the doctors, they're not seeing the lawyers, they're not seeing the activists. They're just seeing the beautiful woman.
Or the beautiful doctors.
Or the beautiful doctors, which is a thing too. You can be beautiful and be successful, but thank you for bringing that up as well. I just wanted to make that very clear, because it's almost like we're putting all of this pressure on what it's like to be beautiful when most of us didn't choose this. We're born.
All right,
we were born this way.
Thank you for that. Okay, Lucas, you two. Oh my God, Lucas, try to be a little more tactful, man. You 2 cent brain idiot. The 90% numbers for the average woman. Look it up, you ratchet. It's science. Yes, mother, wife, daughter, son like me. It's objective, but I did say some variability.
Okay, Lucas, I hope your mom likes you a little bit more now.
Although to be fair, actually, let me walk that back. You did say a pretty egregious thing to Lucas.
No, I didn't.
You said something about his mom?
I said I said I hope that his mom doesn't like him, and I still
that's egregious.
Then that's okay.
That's egregious.
I think he'll keep living.
I'm actually on Lucas's side.
I think that you should hear, dude. Some of the things that these guys have been saying to us today. Are you kidding?
What are you on about?
She said that
you're chatting shit.
Hold on. She said that she hopes
because he was talking. Sorry, finish.
No, in your own words, what did you say to Lucas?
Oh no, I know what I said to Lucas,
what did you say?
What Lucas said to us is that women lose their what was it? He said something about fertility, and it's like, well, fertility is not the most important thing. Not everyone wants to have kids. These 4 women right here said that they don't really want to have kids,
and we don't give a fuck what men think.
Yeah, so they're trying to school us on something that they don't even have an opinion on. So I said, I hope your mom doesn't like you because I fucking said that. I don't care. I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it.
What about what they're saying about us?
Stop. So
you stop.
No.
If I carried a baby in my womb for 9 months and it came out and in 20 years it started saying a bunch of shit about women's fertility,
what's wrong with that?
I think that they don't get an opinion because they're not a woman.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay, hold on. A couple things here. Wait, hold on. So, okay. The first thing is that I think
Your body, my choice, by the way.
You would say that. It's okay, Andrew.
We'll
still
dox
love
you next.
No, we won't. We still love Andrew.
That sounds
We
like a
did.
charge ready to happen if it's your.
Let's be guys. Let's be nice. No.
Literally.
We're trying to have a productive conversation here. Last time I checked.
It's impossible.
Yeah, trying to. All right, so a couple things here. I think perhaps even though Lucas, you found what he said objectionable, or maybe he insulted you first to some degree.
Let me
I think that
apologize.
To some degree.
Sorry.
there's a degree of proportionality that is justified. For example, let's say somebody pokes you. That's wrong. Somebody shouldn't poke you.
I don't give a fuck. I'll poke him back.
Does it give you pretext to murder them? Probably not, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, but me saying that to Lucas was not a murder
Oh my God!
thing.
Do you not? Had you not?
Yeah.
Do you know what an
you shoot
analogy is?
something,
I'm
someone's
trying
gonna
to
shoot back.
explain.
Yeah.
Trying to articulate.
Do I know what an
a
analogy is?
concept.
That was so
Can
condescending.
you stop fucking autisming out or whatever the fuck you're doing?
I'm poking.
It's not
yeah,
autism.
can you stop? Okay, so I'm using an example to try to articulate a point. No, you did not literally murder Lucas. Now
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
now, yeah, and it's not what I meant either. So now that we've, God damn.
No, let him finish. Let him finish.
Oh, I'm just laughing.
Now, you said that men aren't allowed to have a position
I said men shouldn't
on what?
have a position on anything about women's fertility
Why?
because it's the woman's just decision to have a child whenever she wants to have the child.
Hold on. You need to better
has nothing to do with
articulate.
fertility.
You need a better. So men can't have opinions on
No.
this?
I said that if a woman wants to have a kid at 35, why does that make her like what did that statistic do? Like what
Hold on.
prevalence was
Lucas
that
is
statistic?
not making the claim that women are barred from having children.
He
at
said that
35.
he was just pointing out
has
an
a-
objective fact.
Right.
Okay,
And
cool.
To that, you said men should not even be able to have a conversation.
Okay, whoa. That's not.
You think I'm misrepresenting what you said?
I think you are completely misrepresenting
you
what I
men are
said.
not allowed to have an opinion on this.
I think that I made a joke and I said I hope your mom doesn't like you, and we've been doing a lot of satire tonight because I know that you and Andrew have
You
both
can't
been
just
doing a lot of
throw
that.
out a statement.
No, but
and then just be like, oh, it's a show.
no, I do think that men should not have opinions
Okay,
about
so-
what happens with a woman's body, including growing
Why?
a child.
Why?
I do think that because they don't have any other than the sperm, they don't grow the baby themselves. They're not the ones who are.
Here, I'll even-
Men can have children until they are literally on their deathbed. Women
So,
only have a certain amount of
Let
time,
me just
sure,
go
through
ahead and
till menopause.
grant- Let me just go ahead and grant to you that in the scenario I'm about
Mm-hmm.
to give you, this is a man who's not even involved in the woman's life, doesn't even know her. Explain to me why the man can't have an opinion on, for example, the fact that women have a kind of narrow fertility window, and I'll even bring it here because I think this is where you're going. Why can't men have an opinion on abortion?
No, I would like to respond to both of those points.
Go ahead.
I think that you are taking it as I don't think that men should have opinion at all, and I think it's because they're using it in a condescending way.
I
think that men have
to the words that came out of your
yes,
mouth.
absolutely. I think that we're like, I don't want this to get aggressive here because I'm
It's
really
not
not trying to
it's
be.
not aggressive.
So I think that
It's
what
just
I
a
was
lot of
trying to say is that I think that the way that it was worded was really kind of pushing a point that there is a point where a woman is not valuable anymore, and that is what that statistic was trying to give me. And I don't think.
Sure.
No, please just let me finish because if I'm gonna let you finish, like please just allow me
Hold
to.
on, but I'm the host, so
Okay,
I'll
sure, no, go
interrupt
ahead,
when
babe. That's
when
okay.
I like to. So
That's okay.
Big
here's
man.
the issue. Here's the issue is that so you're bringing it back to what he said. I'll just go ahead and grant that you think what he said is totally objectionable. You then made a statement saying men should. I'm kind of paraphrasing here. Men should not have opinions on this.
On a
Can I
woman's
ask,
body
please?
and what happens in it.
Okay, so that is your position.
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely.
You're
I
not-
stand by that.
You're not joking.
No.
It's not a joke. Okay, so let's explore that. When you say men are not allowed to have an opinion on these topics, Why?
I think that you are allowed to have I think that you are allowed to study facts. I think that there's lots of male doctors who study fertility, and that's a very different thing. But when it comes to some random guy who really doesn't know a whole lot about the subject, and he's over here telling me that like my value decreases after 35 because I can't have a kid anymore, like that just rubs me the wrong way, I guess.
Well,
Okay, so
And if I'm reading that, and no, please, because if I interpreted that wrong, then I will 100%
Yeah.
say that. Like
So
I
let's
will
just
be
say-
wrong.
let's
That's
just say
okay.
he's-
I'm okay with being wrong.
That's totally cool.
Yeah.
Let's just say he's in favor of killing puppies. I don't give a fuck what he said. I'm exploring
Okay.
your claim now, which was, and here, I'll just bring it to the ultimate conclusion. Is your position that men should not have an opinion on abortion?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, why?
Because the man isn't the one who is deciding whether or not to grow the child. The man doesn't have any really, after the insemination, the man has no responsibility to care for that child, to raise that child, or to not do
what
those
if
things.
he
If he's
wants to
worried
be a
about
part of that?
abortion,
Oh, if he wants to be a dad, absolutely.
He's forced
No.
to.
If that's the situation, then that is a conversation between you and your partner. Who am I?
and the
Who am I to
government-
tell you what you think?
Okay, I get it. Let me grant the argument to you.
Please.
That because it's your body, nobody should have the
You
ability.
just said your body, my choice, but okay.
No, he was joking. I'm pretty sure. I hope.
Yeah,
he
it's
was, I think
such
he
a
was joking.
funny
He was
joke.
joking. Go ahead, Andrew.
It wasn't a joke. I think that men should be allowed to have abortion, absolutely.
Or at least be able to opt out.
And not only do I think so, I'm going to give you a counter argument now, and I'd
Okay.
like to actually hear what you have to say about this.
Please.
Men can be drafted and sent to war.
Oh
Women
my
can
God.
go to
Who made those
war. They
rules?
Cannot be drafted. Stop talking and let me finish my point.
True.
Women can vote to send men to war and cannot themselves be drafted to go to that war.
Women did not decide
Who
that.
set
you
that
idiot.
system up?
Stop talking. I just let all of you spurred the fuck out for like 5 minutes and didn't say anything. At least
know you
let me
need
make the
control.
argument. Okay? Because women can vote to send men to war and they themselves cannot be drafted for a war, that means that it's men's body and not their choice. It's the same exact fucking logic. Same logic.
But no, it's
Women
not.
didn't
Not
make
at
those
all.
rules. What
Women
are you
didn't
on
make those
about?
rules, and it's the men making the rules about the
The
women's
men
bodies. The men made the rules about who gets drafted. They don't want women in
Complain
war.
to the men in charge, not
Well,
us.
let's-
Seriously. No, let's
let
talk
us-
about it. This is a really, this is a great conversation to have.
Okay, great.
I know lots of women who want to be in the military, but they're not allowed to
Let's
actually
use
fight. They
that
have to be.
line- Let's use that line of logic then. Because men decided it, therefore it's okay. Well, then men decided you can't have abortion.
No, that's not what I said.
Here's your counter syllogism. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you your whole syllogism. Premise one, a person's body is individualized to themselves. Premise two, because a person's body is individualized to themselves, nobody should be able to tell another person what they can or can't do with their body. Right? Conclusion. Men should not be able to tell women that they can't have abortions because it's not their body. That is your syllogism, right?
Yes, I don't think that men should be
Okay,
drafted
then
either.
I'm gonna
I don't
give
think
you-
anyone should be
just
drafted.
Just stop. I just gave you the syllogism. You know I'm giving you your position correctly because you just agreed I was. So I'll give you the counter syllogism. Premise one, men, right, they would be individuals in charge of their body, just like your first premise. Premise two, they should have complete and total autonomy over it because it's theirs. Conclusion, women should never be allowed to vote to send men to war if they cannot themselves be drafted because they now have command over somebody else's body, correct?
Yes, I
That's
agree.
fine.
I agree with you. I don't think that
hang
that should
on.
happen.
Now, hang on. Now that you agree with all that, your counter argument to this was that, but men made those rules. If that is the counter argument, and because men made those rules, therefore those rules are just, then my
No.
When
I
did we
said, but
say
men
they're
made those
just?
rules, so that's why you can't be mad at women for that.
the fuck out when I'm like
Lag?
almost done.
Because what are you
Then
talking
can make
about?
a response. Then I swear you can make a response. I'm not going to stop
Oh,
you.
you're stupid.
All I wanted to do was make sure you understood my position. I understood your.
We did,
now
'cause
it's-
you-
Condescension is actually
Yeah.
crazy in here.
You're
I've
still
been very, very
spurting- you're
respectful
still
this entire
spurting out.
time.
You're still spurting out. Just calm down.
You're
Calm
spurting
down.
out.
And we
Okay.
can have the
No, let's be
conversation.
calm.
Just
We can be calm.
ladies, calm down.
You calm down.
So anyway, back to where I was. If it is not your argument that because men made those rules, therefore it's just, then what is your argument for why women should be able to vote to send men to war?
We never said
I
it was
never
just.
said that men should have to be sent to war. I don't think anyone should have to be drafted. I don't think that is just at all. I think that you should
So no
join the
draft.
military upon your own volition.
We're
I've
just saying
never
it's-
said that. I don't think
complain to
anyone
us.
should have to have
So-
anything about their lives decided for them
So your
at all.
answer is to abolish the draft.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
So if there was a foreign enemy, like let's say China, who was going to invade the United States and you needed soldiers very, very, very quickly, you'd think the government should not be allowed to draft its population?
I think
You were
that
just
ideally
complaining about
No, no, no.
men being drafted.
I
Now you're
think-
saying we need men to
I
be
think
drafted.
that ideally we live in a country where our governments don't get into that kind of like
Yeah, there
what's the word? Ideally, because you're bringing up a hypothetical scenario as well. So if I can bring my
I mean,
hypothetical
it's
scenario
happened,
in,
though. It's happened. The United
Yeah, it
States has been
happened-
attacked by foreign entities.
okay, yeah, but when have they actually been on American soil?
Yeah, they
World
attacked
War II.
Hawaii.
Yeah, World War II. That was literally like 60 years ago.
It was more than 60
Yeah, but-
years.
Okay, well, exactly. That was long ago.
All I said to you was there's examples of this having happened already, and you're like, but that was 50 years, so what? So what? So what if it's 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years? Who cares?
Women couldn't
Why
vote
would that
100
matter?
years ago. Does that not matter?
What?
You're literally
Yeah, no,
talking
because
in
no, you know what's so
circles.
funny that you were bringing up those points about what was it called, the term that you used about the arguments, and he's just bringing up women voting that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but all of a sudden it's a good point when he says it. I don't know. I think that this conversation needs to come to an end because we're clearly not going to agree. I don't think that anybody, man or woman, should have any government control over anything that they do, whether it comes to their bodies, their health care,
I mean,
or
it's really
their service to our
interesting
country.
that-
I'm a
it's really interesting
patriot.
that every time we get to the point where we test your logic, you want to shut the conversation.
What are you talking about? I
have
am.
this opinion, Andrew, and what I think is what.
What the fuck are you talking about, actually?
Let me logically test this opinion to see if it's sound. Let me logically test your argument to see if it's sound. And you're like,
I am
"No, think
agreeing
there's
with you.
something
I said that the logical argument that you made and then the second conclusion that you made are true. I don't think that men should be drafted. I don't think that the government should have control over women's bodies.
Yeah, but that is what we're testing now. Whether or not you actually think men or women should not be drafted. That's
I
the
don't
next
think that
one we're
anyone should be
testing.
drafted.
Yeah,
I think
know,
that
but
ideally we live in a country where people are patriotic and they want to fight for this country, and that if there should be a war where there is a foreign enemy who is attacking us, that we have enough people, which by the way we already do because there's tons of benefits in the military. You get all these different benefits. Lots of people are in the military because they want to be in the military. I am not against the military. I am very for this country. I'm very for this government. But I think that there's different ways that we could go about it.
Repeat back the question I actually asked you.
You asked me if we should have a draft if there is to be a someone invading our country.
Yeah.
And we need military people. I think that no, there shouldn't be. And if there is, then it should be open to all genders. I don't think it should just be men.
Yeah, but if that was the case, then
I'm not saying that something is
Wait,
true.
yo. You gotta let. He started talking. You had.
Sorry.
You were just let him talk. Go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, if you so your first claim is no, right? No, they just shouldn't be able to draft the citizenry in order to protect the country, right?
And if they do,
No, not if they do. They shouldn't, right? Yeah, so that's the claim, is that they should not. So if you had an enemy who was invading, who said, for instance, that their intended purpose was to enslave all of the women of the United States and put them in camps to do essay to them all day long, like the Japanese did in Nanking, for instance, right? Do you think that then the American government should draft the citizenry of the nation in order to protect the women?
I think that then at that point, the American people would join the military by their own
I have
ordinance.
a question. Do
Yeah,
you
let us assume that they're not, though.
Well, why are we assuming that they're not? Why does it have to be
Because
to your
it's
standard? But
baked
when I
into
bring something up, I'm not
hypothetical
logical, but you're
test your
bringing up something
logic. It's
completely
baked into the
illogical.
hypothetical test your logic because it's baked into the hypothetical
Testing
test
my
your
logic?
Because it's based in the, yes, it's baked in the hypothetical test
is
your logic. That's
crazy.
why.
Andrew, do you think in that scenario that
It doesn't
men
matter
should
what
be
I
drafted?
think.
Yeah, do you
It's
think?
what
No,
I
because
think
if it
has
doesn't
Why
matter,
does it
then
not
why does it
matter what
matter?
you think?
Well, you know what though? No, wait. Actually,
You
before
don't
we
need
get
my position to know your position. It's not necessary.
Okay.
I promise.
I'm
You don't need
not
to know what I think.
interested
No.
in that.
before we do get any kind of, because I am trying not to, like, you know, obviously this is a hypothetical we're talking about. I do want to bring up the fact that in the beginning of this episode, they did talk about how Andrew and Brian would be playing devil's advocate, and that is the whole point, is to get us to have opinions. So I would like us to not get angry at Andrew, because these might not even be things that he believes in. This is just because he wants to get my opinion. So before we get angry, I just want to say that I think that it is a good point to bring up, to talk about in these situations if something would or would not be to happen. I think that if that was the situation, that if there was going to be a draft, it should not be limited to only men, because that is discrimination. It should be to everyone.
But now you switch the argument. So
No, because you're forcing me to. What else am I supposed to do in this
forcing you to.
situation? I don't think that there should be a draft.
True.
Would you just calm down? I'm not forcing you to. I'm trying to show you, right? If you say the answer is there should not be a draft, then is it not the entailment of that if the United States was attacked by a foreign entity who wanted to essay all of the women who were here and made that their stated goal, that under your logic then, we would not be able to draft any of the men in order to protect the country from this enemy? That would be the entailment, right?
I think that there would have to be some sort of mandate made. I am not I know obviously
Draft, right?
Okay, where is that in the Constitution is that one of our amendments that there's a draft?
No.
Where does that come from? Because just remind the audience really quick where that comes from.
I would have to pull up the exact details. But
Okay, so if it's something that is not written directly in our Constitution or our Bill of Rights, then that's something that can be changed by the Supreme Court, by the Congress, by the President. So if we were inevitably going to be in a war where it is a world war where there is foreign enemies attacking us, I think that our government could probably change a few rules around.
To say what, though?
To say that if we need to fight for our country, then we should. And I think that honestly,
then that would be a draft then. So that negates your position.
You're forcing me into a corner here. I don't know what more you want me to say.
Listen, I just want you to understand. I'm not trying to trick you. I
don't feel tricked. I feel kind of like just confused.
I'm trying to show you something super important.
Too.
I'm just walking you through. When somebody says, I think this shouldn't be the case, right?
This shouldn't be the case right now, in this country right now where there's no imminent war.
I know. But if you say, I think X thing shouldn't be the case, I go, okay, that's fair, right? Why? You go, well, because of these reasons. And I say, okay, well, let me test those reasons with a scenario, right? And see if those reasons hold up. So in this case, you say, nobody should ever get drafted. That ought never happen. And I say, okay, but what about in the scenario where we're attacked by a foreign entity who wants to essay everything, we don't have enough troops, right? Should we do it then? You say yes. Well, then now I know that you do believe in a draft just under certain conditionals, right?
Well, you just said there's not going to be enough military. So what do you want me to say? Let my country burn? Is that what you want me to say?
Right. Well, that would be...
But I'm not talking about a draft. Also,
right?
Where did this draft come in? Because I thought we were talking about something completely... We were talking about women's rights. So where did this come from?
I'll explain it.
Does this have to do with the podcast?
Because women's rights has nothing to do... Women's rights has nothing to do with the control...
Autonomy. It's because we're talking about bodily autonomy. That's where the draft came from.
I don't know. I need to pee. Can someone else talk about this with him?
That's why it's super important.
I thought this was about dating, like he said.
Me too. Yeah, how did we get here?
This is not about the podcast. This is off topic, like they told me.
If you can say, here's a realistic scenario in which I would suspend your bodily autonomy based on my personal safety, right? Which is what we're talking about, and we just walked through it, and you said you would do it. You said you would do that.
I do think that, but how does that relate to abortion? Because there's no situation in which I think that a man should have a right over a woman's abortion.
Right, except that...
No, there's no except.
But what if it's
What are you
his
talking
child?
about?
How do you know?
If it's his child, how are you going to say he doesn't have a right over that, though?
Because it's
her body.
It's a
And if
fetus. It's not even a fetus. It's an embryo. It's not even an embryo. It's cells.
Okay, but it's still a child being...
If that man wants to... you know what? No, here's the thing. If that man wants to go ahead and pay for that kid for the rest of his damn life, then so be it. But that's why it's choice. Yeah. Choice means that you can have the right to choose. Choice does not mean that everyone has to get an abortion. That's literally not what that means. It means that if you want to get one, you can. And if you don't want to get one, you don't have to.
So what about when a woman has a baby, but the dad doesn't want the baby? Should he have the option to opt out of being a parent like a mother does?
No, the mother doesn't have that option. She has different. The baby's born. The baby's not born.
No. But she has the option to opt out.
Yeah, and the mother can't give it up for adoption. There's many different policies around the country where you can leave it at the fire station, you can leave it at the police station.
Women can.
Women can.
The father.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, if the woman leaves it, how are they going to know who's the father?
No, but if the woman wants to keep it, the father cannot escape his responsibility.
I disagree. You can go to the court. You can win it.
Wait, hold on.
No, you can win that court case.
I want to have this back
and
forth.
I need to pee.
Here.
I'm going to let her
you
talk.
go pee. Go ahead. I'll have the back and forth with you. So just to be clear, could you repeat that? So I said, well, what if the mom wants to keep the child and she actually goes through with the pregnancy and then shut up back there and she has the kid, right? Okay. But the father doesn't want to...
He never has the option to opt out.
So can you repeat what you said?
He should have worn a condom.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting argument to me. Mm-hmm. Can't we just say the same thing to women? when it comes to abortion?
Yeah, but they can get an abortion.
Yeah, but
I
you
think
could have
that's
had
his
him wear a
point.
condom, or you could have been on birth
Yeah,
control.
but there's nothing wrong with getting an abortion.
But and
Let me explore that also.
Wow.
At what is there? Do you think there should be a cutoff?
There isn't there? Yeah.
No. Do you think there should be a
Yeah,
cutoff?
definitely.
When's the cutoff?
I can't remember. I don't know the.
What do you mean? When do you think is right?
I haven't looked at how the fetus develops. I don't know the specific month. I
Okay.
think. Is it 24 weeks? I'm not sure.
Something like that.
but you think there is one. So
I think there should be a cutoff. Yeah.
so from that point, what do you think, Brian?
What do you mean?
Like, because you're saying if the cutoff point to say I don't know what it is either, but if it's 24 weeks, then a father should be able to opt out up to those 24 weeks.
I don't. Would you
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Well, it's just interesting. So, like, you're saying that, well, for men should keep their legs closed. But if we were to make that same argument when it came
About
to
you
women
should've
wanting
kept
to get
your legs
abortions,
closed.
you'd find that incredibly objectionable.
Men should keep their legs closed because they don't have a choice. Women have a choice.
Oh, wait, men don't have a choice.
Nope.
I thought you
that's-
were pro-choice.
Yeah, but
Oh, so women can have choices. Women can.
I think
hold on,
most-
stop. Women can escape from responsibility, but men can't.
it's not about escaping from responsibility.
What do you mean? Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
If there's a government that says you can't have an abortion and women want to get an abortion, and you say
Well,
you
fuck
get the
living
abortion,
somewhere like that.
well, cool. But you would be escaping from the responsibility of having to go through with the pregnancy, despite your wishes not to.
Maybe let's rephrase the terminology. Let's think about the word abortion. Say it's not actually aborting a fetus or baby or whatever you want to call it. A woman is aborting her parental responsibility. Shouldn't a father also have that opportunity to abort his responsibility to that child?
I don't know, but I think a lot of women, when they're about to have an abortion, do, or considering it, I mean, I don't know, but I think they do talk to their partners usually and get their opinion from people I know who've had abortions.
Nope.
They've not just made that decision.
I think
by
also you're.
themselves.
It's not like work.
Nope. Okay, so
not like
here,
work.
let me ask you this: what do you think about men who don't take care of their kids? Are they deadbeat dads?
Well,
Yes.
The
Are
kid
they
who's
deadbeats?
alive, the
They're
kid
not
who's
good, yeah.
breathing and alive,
Yeah,
they're deadbeats.
Do women who abort their children, are they murderers?
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
I
not
think that you guys are
murderers, but
taking
they're
abortion way too
deadbeat
lightly.
moms.
Every
Are
woman
they-
who gets an
deadbeat
abortion does not
moms?
take it lightly. It is not a light
They'd be
task.
more-
Zip it.
They'd
I'm
be
having the
worse if
exchange here
they had the kid when they're not in a good position.
Are they
to.
so women who get abortions, are they deadbeat moms?
No.
Okay, so just to be clear, a father who just doesn't want to be financially involved or parentally involved, deadbeat. But a woman who literally ends a life, not
It's
a
not
deadbeat.
life. It's not.
Okay.
I mean, you can think that, but I disagree.
When's the cut? When do you think is the cutoff? Like, do you believe there's a cutoff, or
I'm not a doctor, and
doesn't
neither are
matter?
you.
What's your opinion?
My opinion is that as soon as okay, listen, there is
What's the cutoff?
probably a mark.
Up until birth?
I don't think it's up until birth. I think that
No,
there's
what do you
probably.
think?
Heartbeat.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a
Yeah, I think it's
scientist.
24
Okay,
weeks.
at what
Would
point
you agree
here-
heartbeat?
Do you think?
Probably. I don't. That sounds about right to me.
Yeah. So okay, at what point should a woman not be able to get an abortion?
Probably when there is some sort of heartbeat, when there's a formation of an actual what looks like a fetus in the womb. I think that when there's simply a clump of cells, I think that also we're talking about this a little
I
bit
mean,
too
you're
lightly.
a clump of cells.
Well, sure, everybody is, but
I'd be able to murder you.
No, but this is a different story, and I understand that you're playing devil's advocate here, but I think that there's
I?
also something,
Yes.
and if you're not, then maybe you can have your opinion, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, abortion is not something that anybody should take lightly. It is a very, very difficult thing, and it's a medical procedure. It is someone doing surgery on the inside of your fucking womb.
Or pill.
That it is. The woman come out of that, they don't feel good about it. They're not like, oh,
Okay.
look, just got my abortion. But let me also say one more thing, and then I'll shut up if that's what you want.
Go ahead.
I think that the legislature that wants to ban abortions also wants to ban contraceptive care, and I think that
That's
like
fake news.
no, it's not. No, it's
Everything Trump
not.
says is fake news. What are you on
It's-
about?
Yeah, literally. What?
I
No,
mean, but good.
no, but we shouldn't ban contraceptive. So if you don't want someone to have an abortion, then they should have access to a Plan B. If you don't want women to have a Plan B, they should have access to birth control, and they should have
Well,
access
why
to
don't you
condoms.
Explain to me why it was then that there was far less babies born out of wedlock before we ever had any contraception.
Probably because of rape.
No.
True.
No,
what?
people
Sorry, I'm
are
not supposed to
more
say that word.
cautious
Truly, because of the
and
R
more
word.
The
careful.
opposite. That would literally be the opposite. So I ask you the question, why were less babies born out of wedlock?
Oh, less.
Right? And you say because of grape?
Wait, I didn't understand the question. I thought you said more. I thought you said more.
Born out of wedlock.
I thought you said more.
Wait,